Snakes are really on the move along the Gulf Coast right now. Like us, they're looking for a cool, shady place to hide. But when they catch us off guard, it can be really scary for us and them. There's just something about snakes.
I don't like how it just slithers around. Like, it's just scary. I don't want it to bite me.
What about snakes do you not like?
I don't like the way they look. Like how they look at you. It's scary.
So when they spotted a snake at the front porch,
that ain't no chicken snake. It's looking straight at us.
They armed themselves with a broom and a flagpole. After a lot of excitement,
they have officially killed their first snake.
It didn't end well for what turned out to be a gray rat snake, identified by Michael Niemeyer with Wildlife Solutions as non-venomous and harmless.
I'm sorry if y'all think it's a good snake, but we don't think any snake's good.
Alabama is home to 6 types of potentially deadly snakes.
We would have the timber rattlesnake, eastern diamondback rattlesnakes, pygmy rattlesnake, cottonmouth, copperhead, and coral snakes.
Now this is a cottonmouth, also known as a water moccasin, and by far the most common venomous snake in our area. Cottonmouth is often confused with another venomous snake.
That one's got a bad attitude.
A copperhead. Here's a side-by-side comparison.
Here's his cousin, southern copperhead. We don't tend to see these copperheads in South Baldwin or South Mobile County.
The copperhead on the left was captured up around Monroe County.
I was bitten by a cottonmouth when I was a young man, a teenager, messing with it, got exactly what I deserved.
A painful and potentially deadly experience.
I was in the hospital for a couple days and it was a rough go. My whole arm turned black. A lot of the skin sloughed off my finger. I had to go to physical therapy to get the motion in my finger back.
Yet Niemeyer relocates and protects wildlife for a living. He actually prefers to work with snakes.
Snakes are much more predictable than mammals. Reptiles are more simple-minded. They're kind of more just all instinct.
Instinctively, they want to be left alone, including cottonmouths.
One thing y'all can take away from this is this snake doesn't want anything to do with me. When people are like, oh, they chase you, water moccasins will chase you. That is a myth. A lot of people push back on that. They don't even chase their food, really. If you're between a cottonmouth and the water, it's going to get to that water whether you're standing there or not if it feels threatened. So that can be misconceived as chasing.
He says Alabama snakes are native and vital to our ecosystem. They keep the number of varmints down. Yet he understands many of us prefer to avoid the slithering creatures. His tips?
Keep a clean yard, don't have wood piles, don't have tin metal, things for them to be able to harbor under. Keep the grass cut low. I mean, like this wide open grass here, this is not very suitable for a snake. Most snakes don't want to be in an area like that because they're susceptible to predators, and really there's nothing for them to eat here.
He says some fast, non-venomous snakes don't mind open spaces like a black racer or coach whip, and don't rely on nursery rhymes or head shapes to identify a snake. These creatures are adaptable and mimic one another to survive. Niemeyer says venomous snakes will rarely find their way inside your home. They don't typically climb and investigate spaces like a hungry rat snake.
Generally, when we go into a situation where there's a snake in a house, we check the attic. 9 times out of 10, there's mice or rats up there. Snakes follow their food.
Though low on the food chain, snakes are here to stay. Niemeyer says we might as well accept them and leave them be.
Anything just wants to get away, chill in the shade, eat a frog. That's all it really wants. And then make new ones one day.
In his opinion, snake repellents don't work. If you want a snake to leave your yard, he recommends you spray it with a water hose and it'll likely crawl away. If you're unsure if a snake is venomous, call a professional. Get too close and bitten, you could wind up in the ICU.